It would be hard to find a more qualified person to lead a local school board than tonight's newsmaker. She has an undergraduate and 2 master's degrees in education.
And she's currently working on her doctorate. She's taught 7th grade. She's worked in the Guilford County school system as a school turnaround specialist, and she's teaching at North Carolina A&T State University. Last fall, Malishai Woodbury, she goes by the name Shay, made history by becoming the first African-American to chair the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School Board in its 55-year history. And as you're about to see, in many ways, it was like coming home. The peaceful atmosphere of southeast Winston-Salem's Happy Hill Gardens community.
This is your neighborhood?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Brings back a lot of memories
A
here.
lot.
This neighborhood in the heart of Winston-Salem, Forsyth County School District 1, is not only the district Shay Woodbury represents on the school board, it's where she spent a lot of happy times growing up, carrying the smile you see here on the little girl in the red dress, all the way to Carver High School, where she graduated in the early 1990s.
We always gave love, we always gave support, and everybody was responsible for everybody's child and each other.
The Happy Hill Garden style of nurturing children
called the meeting to order
is something she's trying to uphold as chairwoman of what is now the all-women Winston-Salem Forsyth County Board of Education.
The students that we serve, you know, they don't really care if the first African-American woman is serving on the school board. They don't really care if it's men or women up here. They just want us to make sure that they have access to a great education so that then they can have a good and peaceful life like we all have.
As chairperson of this board, what do you see is your biggest challenge right now?
A concentration of low-performing schools in District 1.
That's your district?
That's my district, right. And so what that says is that children that live in a particular area of our county are not learning. That's unforgivable.
She says school choice is at the root of the problem, but she doesn't want to get rid of school choice. Instead, she says the system needs to, among other things, concentrate on making current low-performing schools where parents would want to choose for their children to attend and where the best teachers would want to work. So does that mean turning all these low-performing schools into magnet schools?
So that could be an option, that, you know, they become magnets, and magnets based on what people want.
Woodbury uses the word grave to describe the 30-plus point achievement gap between the system's minority and non-minority students.
We're going to have some courageous conversations about race, about socioeconomic, you know, issues, and start to really help those folk whom are on the ground with our students, meaning the teachers, the principals, giving them that training in diversity and equity so that we can start thinking differently about how we personalize learning with all of our students.
Woodbury says she feels for the teachers, many of whom rallied in Raleigh last year in support of, among other things, higher pay. She says on a local level, boosting teacher supplements is a priority.
First, we need to...
In fact, the school board's considering asking Forsyth County commissioners for an extra $40 million to make teacher supplements competitive and pay for capital projects. Do you think county commissioners should raise property taxes to boost these supplements?
Yes, I do, quite frankly, because if you don't have a strong education system, you don't have a strong society. And so you will end up living in communities saving money on your taxes, but they won't be good communities. And so my commitment to service in this community is about making sure that every student, regardless of race, socioeconomic background, whatever their preference, that beautiful diversity of children and students that we serve, that we give them an opportunity at a good life, because they got a great education. Just
like the great education she says she got growing up here in Happy Hill Gardens, leaving, and then coming back to Winston-Salem. Woodbury also calls Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools relatively safe, but plans on working with local law enforcement to produce what she calls a verifiable, written, active shooter plan. She also has a school board committee in place looking at how to make school choice work more effectively. Also of immediate importance, and as we mentioned earlier, searching for and choosing a new permanent school superintendent, given the resignation of Dr. Beverly Emery just within the last few weeks.